Okay, so let's now proceed with the discussion on the world's worst infamy prison. So when we say infamy prisons, these prisons are known for having a bad reputation. So historically speaking, prisons were made not for reformation of the offenders or violators of rules, but before it was intended for the punishment of every violator. So let's start with the Bastille prison. So it's a fortress prison in Paris, France, and it was a symbol of royal absolutism. We all know that France, its type of government is monarchy. So it was intended to augment the city's defense and beginning on the beginning of the French Revolution. So this Bastille prison was actually very known to house political offenders. And the known political leaders that were imprisoned here in Bastille were Voltaire and Marquis de Sade. So they are victims of ruthless persecutions. So these two, aside from being a political leader, they're also writers. And we have right here another infamy prison, the Alcatraz prison. So it was built in 1860 as a military citadel. In prison, it was once among the most dreaded prisons in America. So it's located in San Francisco Bay, and it is the site of infamous prison, noted for its inhumane treatment and torture. And in the year 1933, it became a federal prison and was considered as escape-proof. Why it was considered escape-proof? Because its fortress-like structure and the cold current and surrounding waters as the main reason why it was called an escape-proof prison. So it operated from 1912 to 1963 and housed some of the most notorious criminals in American history, including Al Capone, who is known as the godfather of the mafia, and Machine Gun Kelly, and Birdman of Alcatraz, known as Robert Stroud. So Al Scarface Capone was actually the boss of the mafia called Chicago Outfit. So since it was known that Alcatraz prison is escape-proof, there are prisoners who try to challenge that. And here are the known trios who escaped from the Alcatraz prison. So Frank Morris was known as the one who have the highest IQ in Alcatraz. And also we have John Anglin and Clarence Anglin. And the fourth accomplice is Alan Clayton West. So here on Alcatraz prison, we have also the first and the longest to serve as warden. So in the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, that is James Aloysius Johnstone, or Old Salt Water. So the trio did a decoy in order for them to escape the Alcatraz prison. Aside from using decoy, they have also used a raft which is made of raincoats and woods. And we have right here the Sachsenhausen prison. So it was a labor camp, and it is also known as a gas chamber and a medical experimentation area. So prisoners right here were treated inhumanely, and it's built in 1939 outside Berlin proper as Germany's concentration camps for the dreaded Nazis' SS elite force. Its notoriety became famous when it was transformed into gas chambers. And it estimated that more than 100,000 of people died, mostly of Jewish descent, from this prison. And also, it mainly held political prisoners throughout the World War II. And we have the Auschwitz prison. So it's built by Germans near Krakow, Poland, and it was popularly known as a death camp headed by Rudolf Höss. So more than 2 million innocent victims perished either by torture, mayhem, or gas chamber in this famous dreaded concentration camp. And it has been said that a tale of blood and tears by the account of planners can fill 1,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And we have the Tol Slang prison, which is situated in Cambodia. And it looks like a mountain-sized pile of human skulls and bones. And this prison is a grim reminder of the dreaded reign of Pol Pot. Pol Pot is a dictator at that time, and once you are the enemy of Pol Pot, you'll be put inside this prison. So you would experience physical and mental torture if you will be put inside this prison. And we have the insane prison, which is situated in Rangoon, Burma, which is now Myanmar. And at the height of political unrest, the country's stability was under the siege. And it is pygmy in size compared with other prisons in Western countries, but it became the focus of world attention when political dissents were placed behind bars. And we have right here human rights international advocates further inflamed the world's outrage when the daughter of assassinated General Aung San had planned a coup d'etat, and the father of known democratic fighter in Myanmar, the person of Suu Kyi, were imprisoned for advocating freedom and democracy on their land. And in the insane prison, prisoners have reportedly been bitten with a rubber pipe filled with sand, and they're also being chased by dogs, forcing them to crawl on their hands, knees across a gravel path. And those are the world's worst infamy prison. And so let's proceed with the development of prisons. So we have here the Walnut Street Jail. So it is known as the first U.S. penitentiary system. And this Walnut Street Jail, it adapts the Pennsylvania system. And when we say Pennsylvania system, it strictly adhere to the solitary confinement, wherein the offenders would be put inside their individual cells day and night. They would do their work, they would read the Bible in their individual cell. And we have the Auburn system. So the Auburn system is also known as a New York system and congregate system. So when we say congregate, group system. So if Pennsylvania is more on solitary confinement, Auburn system believes, or it's a system wherein there is solitary confinement for offenders during nighttime, and during daytime they were going to work in groups. So since Pennsylvania is the first system, it has been found out that it's of high maintenance and it is inefficient when it comes to labor. So they devised another system, which is the Auburn system, which is cost effective. And here is the Auburn, a facility that uses the Auburn system. So this is the Auburn Correctional Facility, which opened in 1971. And we have the Pennsylvania prison. So this is the rival penitentiary system of the Auburn. As its features, what I've said, is more on solitary confinement of their prisoners. Now, so the prisoners will do their thing in their own cell day and night. So they live there, slept, receive religious instruction, and read the Bible. And silence is strictly observed in this prison. Sing Sing Prison, it is formerly known as Ossining Correctional Facility, and it uses Auburn system. So it's a maximum security prison. So the offenders that are put here are dangerous. So it's operated by the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision in the village of Ossining, New York. And it has been said that the Sing Sing prison can hold 1,700 inmates, and those offenders who were put inside here were treated inhumanely. The punishment are very severe. And this is a picture of the Sing Sing prison. So another picture for the Selma Older facility, and this is the facility of the Sing Sing after the 1913 fire. And also, when it comes to the development of prison, one of the great contributors is John Howard, and he wrote The State of Prisons in England and Wales in the year 17 77, in which he described the horrible treatment of prisoners. So he advocated segregating prisoners by age, sex, and type of crime, paying the staff, hiring medical officials and chaplains, and supplying prisoners with adequate food and clothing. So Howard thought that prisoners should not be harassed by keepers who extorted from them, nor should they have to suffer malnutrition and disease.